Alright, so today I'm going to be playing what may be the last pre-release version of VR Regatta. This is scheduled to release on Steam very, very soon. And this intro screen is different. I like it, gives me kind of a welcome message here. That's cool. And there's a little boat on a barrel here. Can't pick up the barrel, can pick up the boat. Because I can also pick up some blocks. Those are fun. Maybe I'll build a little wall here. Now, one thing to note, just before I started making this video, one of my lighthouse base stations decided to fail. It's a firmware fault, so hopefully I will be able to get that fixed quickly. But if you see any weird tracking wonkiness from either of the controllers, it may not be because of the game, but is likely because of there only being one lighthouse. So far, though, everything seems to be just fine. And this game doesn't really require a lot of control, because unless something has changed, I'm just steering the boat with one controller for the most part. This is fun, though. One more on top. Let's see if we can put the boat on top of that. I'll put it on this controller. See if it will all come crashing down. No, it doesn't. Awesome. So, little stack of blocks there. That's pretty fun. Nice little, almost mini game. Let's turn around. Marine verse credit, and there's tracking loss. That I will not be turning around often. That's probably the only time that'll happen. Alright, so you'll notice I have rankings in here because I'm one of the testers for this particular game. Those will go away very soon, I'm sure. So the tutorial, you've got the tiller, grab with trigger, and the wind direction's up there. That's always been the case, and the speed is on the bottom. The directions are new. The tutorial's actually new since the last time I played. So if you face the wind, of course, you'll speed up. If you face against the wind, speed will go down. Just like in real life. The one thing you can't do is you can't really do anything with the mainsail. Which you would be able to pull in the mainsail and adjust in real life. Compensate for some of that wind. But overall, fairly simplistic tutorial, but does what it needs to. Let's do the relaxation mode. This is my favorite, and I see that I think the background's changed to either a sunrise or a sunset. The whale is still floating in the air. Guess it's good charm there. You'll notice the speed, wind direction, and tiller do not have any type of titles on them. So I guess that is only for the tutorial. You just sail around a bit. Looks like a lot of stuff is, again, just floating above the water. Still not sure how I feel about the things floating above the water. They're fun. It takes a little bit away from the realism. They are giant animals for the most part, or I think this is another animal. This looks like it might be a treasure chest. Well, let's roll up on the treasure chest. Maybe we can hit it with the boat and keep it. Nope, just passes right through it. Either way, relaxation mode is fun. And this is new, Sailing Academy. So find the following tasks. What you'll notice is when you point at the task, it kind of...
Let's learn some sailing terms. The big sail on the boat is called the mainsail. Can you find it? Mainsail. Well done. Can you find those?
Also, I'm looking for boom and mast. Okay,
Mast. Boom. Time to move around. Jib. Bow. I have a surprise for you. Are you curious what it is? Rudder blade. Keel. Starboard. Port.
Just trying to zip back.
Stern.
There we go.
Delightful. Tack. Clue. Tack. Clue.
How am I gonna get up there?
Head of sail. Head of sail. Well
Nice.
done. You made it. Look
Didn't even have to
my
move
surprise,
around.
The fireworks.
Fireworks are pretty impressive. That's a fun reward. I finished that a lot faster because I'd already played it once. One of the fun things, though, is you can teleport to different spots around the boat, so you can get better looks at each of those items, which is cool. And up here, we can see the fireworks a lot closer, too. Fun times. So that's the Sailing Academy. So we've tried everything on this side. Let's move over and do an easy race. It gets me started pretty quickly. The one thing that I'm not sure if I like or not about this game is I think it's great because it's easy to handle and steer the boat with just one controller. But I feel like the other controller is kind of just wasted for the most part on this game. I'd like to have something to do with the second Vive controller. It's one criticism. Otherwise, these 4 modes that I've just played through, I really enjoy. It's kind of a relaxation type game for me. I like to sit back, sail on the water. Learn some nautical terms tonight. Sailing Academy. But there is a version of VR Regatta also for Gear VR. And that one's a little bit harder to steer because you're using a touchpad and not a controller. And there's also some more complexity. At least there was. I don't know if it's changed in more recent versions. But you'd also have to do things like adjust the main sail and actually steer what is in this version of the game automatically happening. So I'm hoping that in the future there's also maybe a more refined difficulty level or something of that nature where you can use the other functionality of the boat. I'm just going to sail straight for the finish line so that I can beat my old score, hopefully. I might not because I'm not exactly against the wind. And no, I'm not going to. So I'll come in second in my rankings. Maybe third. Wow. There we go. And I just now realized that each time I go through a star, it lowers my time. That's something I hadn't noticed the last few times I've done these races, so that's fun. The other thing is, I kind of wish there was a restart button for this race, because now I can just kind of sail around after the race, which is strange. And I'd like to actually be able to just go straight back to the start line. So, that's another, not bug, but bit of a critique. And then here's where I start to get lost. If we go into start race, the wind is against me entirely. So it says to go to the start line. So if I coast to the start line, I'm going very, 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 very slowly. If I do that. I've crossed over the start line. First thing it says to do is to go around this buoy. And in order to do that, I have to get behind this boat first. And it just gets slower and slower because of the wind. I'm just overall not good at steering on this particular race, to the point where it kind of just my boat dies. So not too good at that one. A long race is even worse because now there's more boats in the water. I just feel like I constantly collide with them. Like that one just happened. Sometimes the boats have very strange physics, or they end up crashing and sailing forth into the sky instead of into the water. I've seen them capsize. I've seen a lot of strange things in this long race version. Look, I just crashed. They still put me back in the start line that time. So that's not the most pleasant experience. And if I go to experiments, this one's interesting because now I'm on what looks to be almost a pirate ship. And I can't steer it. And I can't really do much else. So, I'm not sure what the experiment is. That would be interesting to check out. But this is VR Regatta. It's coming to Steam soon. And I think for the most part, as an early access title, it's ready to be unveiled to the world as an early access title. I like the early features. The Sailing Academy is really fun. The Relaxation trip is extremely fun as well. And the Easy Race, if there could be more challenges added in that same Easy Race format, it would be a lot of fun as well. VR Regattas by Marineverse should be out shortly on Steam. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and see you next time.